Hello, everyone. There's a giant Kate noggin on the screen.
Hello, sorry.
We come back and there's just
hair. Hello. Oh, you can see my grays this way. That's good.
Yeah, mine too. It's fine. It's fine. We're growing up.
We are.
We're becoming adults.
Ugh.
Zara cannot wait. Sydney is struggling with content creation. This is the place for you.
I was supposed to say, not yay for the content creation, but I like your picture.
New photograph.
An author, like, what am I trying to say? Like an author picture they put in the back of books and stuff. It looks really good.
Headshot?
Yeah.
All of those things?
Those words could have worked.
It doesn't show up on here, so you can't.
It doesn't, but they look great on YouTube.
They do. I'm cool. I should be super cool. Going to be watching this as I'm getting ready to sleep. Sleep is good. Brooke is the reason we are here, because it was Brooke's idea to do content creation. So thanks for bringing that one up, because Lord knows.
Hooray!
Sometimes we get to the last minute and we're like, we have a live tomorrow and we don't have a chat topic.
A plan.
We don't really have a plan, but at least we have a topic.
Yeah.
We're doing better than we could be. Hello, Stacy. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Nicole. And Wallace. This song is always a bop. I like it. Though when I hit the timer button, I was sort of expecting the timer music that plays on Sam's channel, because I think her lives are some of the ones I watch most often anymore. So I just expect her rock music and it didn't, and I was very sad. Hello, Shay. Hello.
That was one more. Really high.
We were discussing last time I don't know if it was last time I was live with you or with someone else, but for some reason I get nervous when I'm live, which is weird because we've been doing this for I don't know, 4 years now. It's been a minute. And I get nervous, and so I start singing my words instead of saying them, which is real weird. But that's neither here nor there. That's just me. How's everybody doing? How is everybody today? How's Kate today?
I'm doing good. I didn't finish the chapter that I was working on today, but other than that, it was pretty chill. I went to the gym for the first time in ages since the panorama started. So that's good. That's nice. Wore my mask. But I've been vaccinated for well past the amount of time. So I finally was like, okay. Yeah. So it was time. It is.
I have had the one vaccination. I have many more weeks. I think when you went and got yours, they were still only doing 2 weeks in between, and now they're doing 5 weeks.
Is it 5? I think mine was 3 weeks in between, but that was still earlier. I've heard some people say that it works better the more time you have in between. So
that's the rumor that I heard. I think it was when I did mine, they said that the Pfizer was 6 weeks and Moderna was 5 weeks. In between. So I had to reschedule because I realized that my second appointment was going to be the weekend of the Writeathon. And I was like, that's not going to work for me.
No. Oh, no.
It's not going to work for me. So I had to reschedule and push back a week so that I could do the weekend after the Writeathon.
Yeah.
Because I want to be alive during it.
How was your experience with the first one?
I was just really tired and my arm hurt a lot. Someone else on Authortube and I were discussing it, and I said it's you had a really strenuous arm exercise, but only on one arm.
Oh yeah.
100%. After you go to the gym and have and you have that muscle burn, but just on one arm in one muscle.
You're I'm only working out you today.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah. It's a great plan. Have had a very productive day writing with Kate and Beck. I just got over 3K words in today.
You crushed it.
Woo! That's a fair point. I kind of looked at it as like risk factors. Like the risk of anything negative happening is lower than the risk of something negative happening, like when I get in the car, or yeah, there's a lot of things. So,
yeah.
But I think it's a medical issue, and I think everybody's medical issues are between them and their doctor and no one else. So
yeah, I agree.
Y'all can do whatever you want, whatever works for you.
Hello.
I have heard that too, that if you have a really bad reaction to the first shot, that means that you've actually had the virus already once, which is weird.
Yeah, I'd heard once upon a time that it was then people who had a really bad reaction to the second had it before also. Like, I'm sure there's something to that, because the people I know who did have it did have bad reactions. I somehow was totally fine. But then there's tons of people who did not knowingly have COVID and had bad reactions. So
yeah. I've seen people have bad second shot reactions. Mm-hmm. Just as far as like site swelling and rashes and things like that. So it's like everybody's body's different. Even though they all kind of do the same things, they're all different and they all react different ways to different things. So you and your doctor, that's it. Mm-hmm. Okay. England. I mean, there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So where did you want to start our discussion for this evening? Do you want to start with like how we organize content creation, or like how we come up with content creation? Or does the chat have a preference of how we start this off?
Did you see my panicked face of, whoop, I'm deciding?
I have to make decisions? What happened?
But we're on Jessica's channel. I don't make decisions.
I didn't know if you had a preferred to talk about first.
Okay. I have no preference. No, I have no preference. I think I really like how organized you are. I do think I have a few tools that I've been trying out that I like. But I think I asked a question on Instagram, and I feel like a lot of people had questions on the actual like idea generation aspect of it. And hold on, let me see what else was asked. Even though I sent it to Jessica, I definitely just looked at it.
Listen, is that your shady way of saying per my last email?
No, it was I literally looked over this 20 minutes ago, and I definitely read all of them, so why can't I remember?
How you come up with it, then how you were. That makes sense. How you come up with it, and how you organize it. I mean, sure. Was there any questions on there that you wanted to address specifically?
How to come up with ideas. I do also see a lot of people in coming up with the ideas, or like in starting something. They talked about asking if you could combine BookTube and Authortube and what general thoughts on that were. So we could make that a like 5-minute talking point, because I have thoughts. So other than that, though, just idea generation.
We'll use that as a segue to organization. Okay.
I like it. Y'all just watch the strategy happen.
It should happen behind the scenes. Hello, Laura. Tips on how you get started with creating a schedule. We will discuss it. Absolutely.
Scheduling, yes.
I think as far as coming up with ideas, which is, where we're at, I think it's the same as writing. I think there are multiple different ideas of like where you can pull from. Some people just will watch a video that they enjoy and they'll think, I would really like to do something like this, but also maybe do a twist on it that would make it more my brand, which is like me For instance, I really enjoy drinking by my shelves, balancing the books. I love. And so me, who has like a bajillion and a half unread books, at the time I had like 260, I was like, well, I don't want to balance. I want to like slash them to pieces. So that was where the TBR takedown came from, because I took an idea from someone that I enjoyed watching and give them credit for in your videos. I don't know that I still do, but I know I did in the beginning, because it's been like 3 years. So I don't know that I still put her down in there. I probably should, but I don't know that I still do. But in the beginning, I definitely did. But just like, you take an idea that you see and make it you. And that's one way.
Yeah. Well, that's what, do we want to talk about maybe staples of both BookTube and AuthorTube? Like the things everyone can try. So I think figure out the staples of wherever you want to be, do some of those staples, and then I think eventually you'll figure out what changes you like, what you think's interesting. And then if you do enough of them too, like Jess said, I assume at that point you're definitely ingrained in the community, so you're watching more people. I get most of my ideas by watching other people, and I'm either like, oh, that's cool, I want to try that thing, or oh, that's cool, I want to try that thing in a slightly different way. So I always say my example is with the I Tried Writing Like series, was I saw people in like the health community or whatever was like, I was trying to copy this person's exercise routine. And I was like, that's cool. I can do that for famous authors. And I know a BookTube at the time had been doing like, I tried reading this booktuber's favorite books. And I was like, oh, okay. So just take something, change it a little bit, and you got it.
Take something that you enjoy, put your
Yeah.
own spin on it, make it work for your brand.
Yeah. I also, I do, if I've watched someone's videos, I do tend to give credit the first few times I start a series, but then after that, I just forget to put it down also. I'm like, I don't know at what point I need to, like, because it was inspired by them, but I'm like 10 videos deep and I tried writing like, and I'm like, I guess I could reference back Jessie the Reader and the fitness YouTuber I saw each time.
I mean, I still, like I said, I know I definitely, at least for that series, credited Emma in the beginning, but I mean, it's been 4 years, so.
Yeah. I think the difference is though that like you took her idea and changed it a little bit also to fit you better, basically, right? I think if you're going to do the exact same thing, you should definitely still credit the person. That would be my little asterisk there. So if you've changed something, I think it's okay to say it in the first couple videos, and then you're probably fine. Of course,
the exact same thing, then
yeah, maybe be like,
also, you don't know that they're the first ones that came up with it either. So you credit the person that you seen do it, and hope that they credit the people that they seen do it.
I remember I watched, there was this Authortube tag. I wish I could remember what it was. So there was an Authortube tag that I had seen a couple people do and I was tagged in. And I think I did it. But then I saw a whole other section of Authortube had the same name for the tag and the same concept, but different questions. And I was like, oh no. So then anytime I clicked on someone's video, I didn't know if I was getting this person's tag questions or this person's tag questions. And I was like, someone should have, this is the time you search is with the tag videos for sure. So anyways, I tried to like hunt my way back, play detective, and figure out where it started.
That's the other thing. If you're going to create a tag video or something, you should look to make sure that that exact name hasn't been used already. You should be a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Kate said, staples of the channel that you're on, and that can be for any section of YouTube at all, or Instagram or Twitter, anything that you're creating creative content for. Just, you are a part of the community, even as a viewer, so you know what the staples are for that community. And if you don't know, do some research, because that's your job as a creator.
Yeah.
Even as a writer, you should be reading, because it's research.
Yes. And basic staples of booktube. I know tags are still a thing, but like not as much of a thing, but like reading vlogs, reading challenges. And I say challenges as like experiments also. Because I know people the Books and Lala does a lot of really cool reading experiments or challenges. I'm trying to think of other ones, just like reviews, top 10 or top whatever lists. And then obviously AuthorTube, we have writing vlogs, tips and tricks, writing experiments. Um, yeah. What else do we have?
Sprints.
Sprints. That has been such a huge thing. I will say, because in my brain, BookTube or AuthorTube spun off of BookTube. I know that's not necessarily the case for everyone, but that's how I found it. So in my head, I'm like, AuthorTube is BookTube's like little sister. I will say that AuthorTube, I think, crushed the sprints a little bit before BookTube did, though. I think
We did.
BookTube finally like, oh, wait a second, sprints
Listen,
are like,
I'm not saying that we're awesome, but I'm kind of saying that we're awesome.
yes.
I think I don't want to like, don't quote me, but we were like one of the first group of people that started doing sprints regularly
Yeah.
in the AuthorTube community. I think Brooke, Mandolin, and Natalia were definitely doing them a little bit before us.
Yeah. Well, I remember watching The Patchwork Nerd. I'm still waiting for Alex to come back. I remember watching her do sprints so early on, and I was like, this is so cool, but I could never do live
Right.
streams. And now it's like everyone does live streams. That's just it.
Just turn the camera on and go.
Yeah, just right. Yeah.
Just right. It's fine. But yeah, that's a thing. Did I miss any questions while we were discussing? Eva's asking about content creation. We will come back to that, or organization. We will come back to that later. Charlotte's here. Hello, Charlotte. Haven't seen you in 300 years. Where have you been?
I know. That's a good point, though. Oh wait, I didn't see what you clicked on?
It was Charlotte.
Oh, okay, I was thinking of the next Charlotte one. She has a good point she makes. Yes.
Yeah, that's also a thing. Sometimes the original is gone. Mm-hmm. So you can just tag whoever you saw it from, and that's fine.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I do think it became a life of its own. Do I silently side eye people who don't tag me? Yes. It's fine. It's really okay. It's okay. I think they're so fun. I like watching other people do it too.
I'll be over here. AuthorTube newbie tag, Jenna Streety. Easy. Both of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, there were two of them too, who I can't remember what her name is, who also came up with it with Jenna. But I do remember her channel. I don't know that I can find anymore.
Like the original one and the 2.0 version were both Jenna, who posted a video today for the first time in a while. Yeah.
Yay!
It's a moving blog from where they're moving. So
that's very exciting.
She hasn't been around for a while, but she's back. Jenna is how I found AuthorTube. So
we really do know like our first people we found stuff through, though. I always think that's
because the community was so small back then.
Well, that's true too. Yeah. Yeah, that is
there was true. Only like 20 people. So
yeah.
It was more than 20, but it felt like it was only 20. Yes, a Ruby.
No.
He's asleep. She's very old. She'll be 17 in like a month. She's very old. Rider on Wheels, Perfect Live. Going to be starting my AuthorTube channel soon. Been saying that for months. I mean, that's fine. remember when this friend started. It definitely was like a thing, just like randomly.
Yeah. I feel like
Okay. My car's leaving.
Bye, car.
Brand new idea.
I feel like it's some.
I mean, just saying. Jenna is like a whole different beast. That Jenna is a whole different beast. I'm discussing Jenna Streety, not Jenna Moresi. Two different Jennas. But yes, whole different beast. Kate's wearing makeup today, guys. Look at her face.
I am.
What is this, 2017?
Basically, by the way, not related to this topic, but I have like BB cream that I use because I don't know how to use foundation. And my BB cream used to work, but as it turns out, I'm so pale that the BB cream, which I only use to cover up the redness of my nose, is a little bit tanner than the rest of my face. I was just like, Jessica, it's the lightest color you can buy. Anyways,
I want you. Do you see the two of us? Because I'm even paler than you are. So
I think the camera's doing some work for me, though. I actually feel like I look tanner on
you
screen.
do look a little tan today.
Yeah.
We are very pale. How do you know when you're qualified to give writing advice? If I ever know that, I'll let you know.
Here's what I think, Laura. I think as long as you're qualifying your advice, as long as you're like, this is what works for me, I'd try it out if you've done this or this that don't work for you. I think that's fine. I think it's when you start acting prescriptive, and I think people want to take on a tone of authority because it tends to sound better. But doing that when, if you do that, basically what happens is that people are now going to be looking at your books and dissecting your own writing. They're going to be asking you how many books you've sold. They're going to be digging into your qualifications, so to speak. And as writing is an art, it's just a difficult place to be. So I think always saying, this is what works for me, try this, is a better way to approach it. And it's still kind of giving advice. It's just not saying, I'm right, you're wrong.
I'm trying to look to see. I feel like we had a chat about that.
I feel like we did.
I was trying to think of which one it might be in, because God knows we do this. As you can all tell, as you've been here for the last half hour, we are all over the place. It might have been.
Playlists.
It might have been the final Authortube Chat of 2019.
Let's get out there and help people customize and save. Liberty.
Yeah, let's do it.
Usual.
Trends and changes within the YouTube writing community.
I think that has to be it, because at the time people were, yeah.
That's not the one I wanted. Go back.
That was a time. If y'all have not been around and you want a brief history of the changes.
How do I find StreamYard? Okay. I am linking in the chat the live stream that I think that we just talked. We discussed that topic at length. Being qualified to give advice, the difference between telling someone how to write versus telling someone how you write. That whole thing. I'm pretty sure we did like a whole thing. Back to where I was at. I don't know where I'm at. Where am I at? Yes, everyone is qualified to share experiences. Different thing. Rider on Wheels thinks that you were the introduction, your vlog where you read Truth Witch.
No way! And I read Truth Witch because of Miss Jessica. It's a full circle.
Ring-a-ding-ding, we have a winner. Eva came into the community right before ARCs are free, so she got here right in time.
You were in perfect timing
for all the drama. How do you plan to keep an online presence with pen names that you don't want associated with your main online presence? Are you worried about being found out? Do you avoid having any second social media accounts? That's a Kate question for sure.
For what it's worth, I technically made second social media accounts for my other pen name, but I don't post on any of them. I just wanted to grab them just in case kind of thing. But yeah, that's the easiest way, is just not to post elsewhere about it. And that's helped me. I think you get into a hard part where some people want to leverage the audience they have over here to come over here, but then you're not keeping it separate. So
okay. I don't have any thoughts, comments, or questions or concerns about that because I just have my real name. So if you want to stalk me, don't stalk me. But if you wanted to, you could.
Oh, the Waddy Awards. That's cool. I haven't heard of that. I will look it up.
She's going to open a tab. There will be 500 tabs open on Kate's screen when we get done with this conversation.
Correct.
This is what works for me. Take it with a grain of salt. Absolutely. All of that. Would be about tools, education to enhance your content creation, like Skillshare, YouTube videos. What do we use? Have you had to invest to get better? See, this is why we ask you guys what we're supposed to talk about, because we're not smart.
No. Hold on. I think, accent, like chatting with the community, that's a skill, right? We have learned to trust our audience.
We've learned the skill of trusting the audience to know better than we.
I
actually recently did a subscription to Skillshare, and I have not watched anything on it yet, because who has time for that? But listen, I'm behind currently on content creation, so
I love this as a topic, though. I do use Skillshare. I have been sponsored by Skillshare in the past, but I do use Skillshare. I mostly actually ended up using it for how to take care of my plants. I did watch a couple other videos that I really enjoy. I know they have so many things. This is not an advertisement for Skillshare. I watched.
But if they want to sponsor me, they can call.
Yeah. Yeah. But what I love watching for YouTube videos, I just saved one the other day to my watch later. Let me see if I can find it. My watch later is infinitely long. But it was Books Like Whoa. I think Books Like Whoa, she's done episodes with other booktubers. I really enjoyed the one she did recently. So I'll watch live streams. I really liked the behind the scenes tags that people have been doing about YouTube. Both authortubers and booktubers were doing some. So I'll actually go and watch those, and I get tricks from other people who do, specifically in the niche. I think there tends to be a problem where, like, I might watch someone who's like the best YouTuber for advice on YouTube, but then they have something that's completely irrelevant to me because AuthorTube's so different or whatever. So I tend to try and watch other AuthorTubers and other booktubers and see what they're doing and what they recommend. And then, yeah.
My plan with Skillshare is to utilize it not to grow my channel as far as like learning what my content should be, but rather working on video editing and thumbnail creation and things like that, things that make it more cohesive and therefore would grow the channel. So I think there's different avenues of which to attack that.
I also want to improve my thumbnail game. I tried to learn Photoshop to do that, and I have learned a couple things that I'm better at now with Photoshop, specifically for thumbnails. But that's definitely something that
I'm still struggling trying to figure out how to use Canva. So like Photoshop is outside of my skill level currently.
You know what? Your Canva ones have been looking so good. I love it.
I pay for Canva now because I get so angry because I'm like, I want that picture that I have to pay for. And I'm like, to hell with it. I'm just going to pay for it. The government gave me money and I'm going to use it for things that is not what that money's for, but I'm going to use it anyway. So
I have thought about that several times. Okay.
Just,
you might be convincing me.
I mean, the picture quality is better and the things that you can get is better.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. That's where I'm at. That's education, trying to use Skillshare. I don't know. That's all I got right now. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Oh, I did that thing where I just scrolled for like 20 minutes. Wow, there's a lot of comments. Okay, anyway. That was me. Okay. Now that was Kate playing. That's how far behind we are. I'm confused. Like, what is the okay?
I will say, just because I remember in BookTube there were people who came up with a whole bunch of who took a more like, I'm gonna roast the hell out of this approach, and sometimes that gets you way more views. So I don't recommend people be super pushy with writing advice, but it could still work. I may not want you, but it could work.
There definitely are people that book roasts are popular. Not my jam.
Yeah.
Though if you watched my most recent wrap-up video, you would disagree.
You were just roasting all of them.
Do you have a dream video you would like to make but haven't yet for whatever reason? The world probably already knows that I've been talking about it for probably over a year, making a video on like story Bibles and all of the different versions that I have used and which ones have worked for me and which ones have not. I have the whole idea. It's the filming process that I'm just like, I don't know that I have the energy to do this. So it has not gotten done. Maybe if I ever take a vacation from work, I'll work on it. That's never going to happen, but maybe one day. How about you?
A lot of the videos, I think it's kind of the same thing as you, though. It's just that I want to make them, but they're very time consuming. And gets to be a point, as this isn't like our full-time jobs or anything, where it gets to be like, it's just hard to work yourself up to make like a video where the filming process alone and gathering of materials or everything else could be like a 20-hour thing. And you're like, I really want to make this, but I do not have time to make this. That's usually where my boundary is. Sorry, my hair attacked me.
And that to me kind of leads into any tips for forcing yourself to stay consistent. I don't think you should force yourself to stay consistent, because if you are forcing yourself, you're probably not having a good time. And if you're not having a good time, your viewers are not having a good time.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also think there's nothing wrong with having a couple, like, I'm gonna call them fluff videos, but just like easy to do videos where they take like no time in comparison. Some of my writing vlogs I'm filming over the course of like 4 days, and then I edit them and they're still like 30 minutes plus long. So I spent like 10 hours or something doing that probably. And then what I'll do sometimes is I'll just sit in front of my camera and I'll chat about a writing topic for 15 minutes, make a 7-minute video. And then I'm like, there we go. That whole thing took me an hour in comparison. So like, I think balancing your content, maybe even, which might go back to organization, which we will talk about.
I really did. I'm still not even sure how I did it. Last December, I did Advent. I did 24 days of videos in a row, on time, every day.
I don't know how
I finished filming the outro for yesterday's video prior to this live stream. I'm behind.
Yeah.
But in December, 25 videos in 25, I think it was 24. But either way, and really it was just a lot of them were, I mean, like my basic channel videos, I can fill up a month usually with just like my regular monthly videos. And then the other videos I filled in with like Q&As. And some of those videos are 3 or 4 minutes long. So, just something small, a topic that you want to discuss, even if it's only a 5 or 6 minute video is totally fine. But don't force yourself because it's.
Yeah. I also, I've talked to people where I used to do like, I aimed for 3 videos a week. And I think I was doing that for a while. I've been trying to get myself down to like 2 videos or 1.5 videos a week because I have more stuff I'm doing kind of thing. And so I'm still trying to be regular, but I've never out loud set a schedule, which I think helped me to not feel bad if I did not hit a schedule. Like, I know a lot of the advice you're given is like, say that you make a video every Wednesday and like let people know to come back on Wednesday. And I think that's great marketing, but I don't know that that's great. I don't know that that's super healthy. And I've had friends for sure on Authortube who did that kind of thing and then would feel really bad and feel like they had to make profuse apologies for not making a Wednesday video or something. And I'm like, you're stressing yourself out for, not a whole lot of reason.
I still typically plan to upload Monday and Wednesday. That's my typical plan. But in my videos, I say a couple of times a week. And so like this week, I decided that since we're having a live today, I could, that's going to count as my Monday video and I could push Monday to Wednesday. And then my Wednesday video, because I already have Wednesday's video planned, it just needs edited. It'll just hit this weekend because I do occasionally do like a weekend video. So yeah. I'm just like pushing everything back a day.
I think there's something to be said for flexibility for sure. Also, if you are going to I'm going to say leave the community for a period of time, like you're not going to make content. I think what really helps is hanging out in chats and still commenting on people's videos. I don't know how many people, I don't know if anyone else does this. I do this more in BookTube because I don't know people as well, but I'll see who like the top comments are or something. And now YouTube lets you like click on their link to see what other comments they made on the video. And like, if they're pretty funny and they have their own channel, I will literally just go from that comment they made and just subscribe to them and watch their videos, even if they haven't made anything in a while. So,
I know that definitely like in 2019 when my sister was sick and I took all of August off, I didn't make a single video all of August, but I was still like in chats and in live streams and I was still watching content. I just didn't have the time to create any content. But I feel like if you have time to at least like catch a live show or comment on a couple of videos, people still know you exist. So Grape wants to know that romance pen name. I want to know too, so get in line behind me. Check your library for free online. Oh my gosh, online free class resources. Excellent. Need Skillshare. Waiting for the next sponsored video to click on for the discount. Totally fair. Leveraging audiences from YouTube is sometimes it's not really the target audience for your book, and that gets caught in an algorithm loop. Absolutely.
Yeah, don't use Authortube to market your fiction book.
Because it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Also, don't create a video on how to use StreamYard and post that on your BookTube/Authortube channel because it will be your most watched content and it will fuck your algorithm. See my channel. I hid it for a while, but then everybody, like, people were referencing back to it and I was getting messages like, what happened to your video? And I'm like, all right, I'll make it public again, I guess. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
The algorithm is very nice sometimes.
Yeah, well, let's see. Pay for Canva. It is amazing. I love it.
You're convincing me.
Yeah, it's great. It has a 30-day free trial. Just try it. See if you like it.
Okay, I will.
We are like way behind. This is like 10 minutes ago. How do you balance filming, editing, uploading videos, writing, query, and a full-time job? I've cut out TV, but then how do I fill the well and not burn out? You tell me and we'll both know. Between the two of us, we make one person that does all of those things. I have a full-time job. She does all the writing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Between the two of us, we make one person that does all
I don't know. Here's my thing. I'm already so impressed by Jessica having, and not just like a full-time job. I think we should make it clear how many hours you work, which is a lot of hours. I'm going to make her uncomfortable by talking about how great she is. But like, it's a lot of hours, and she's still regularly making videos, and she's still writing, even if it might not be as much as everyone else on Authortube has time to do or does or says they do or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all of that's impressive. And she's reading so much. Okay, anyways. Like, I'm very impressed, and I still think it's just hard. I don't know a single person who does all of the things you listed. I don't know how. I will say that my reading and writing kind of go like this. So if I'm reading a lot, I'm not usually writing a lot of fiction. So that's how it goes for me. Yeah.
I think I think the balance is not so much do a little bit of all of them every day. I think most of us balance it off by like, this month will be heavy in this one thing, and this month will be heavy in this thing, and this month will be heavy in this other thing. I think that's more where we find the balance versus an even amount of everything every day.
Yeah, especially like, I think the greatest example of that is how few of us read in November. Like, I think I read a book last year during NaNoWriMo, and I was shocked. I was like, I never read during Nano. Like, how can people do this thing? Yeah.
I think if you, and Laura specifically, I know that you follow most of these people, but I think the people that really do all of those things very well would be like Julie at Pages and Pens, Lainey at Ginger Reads Lainey, Kevin at Kevin the Writer, Laura at Laura Writes. I feel like those are people, I'm sure there are more, those are just the ones off the top of my head. Those are people who I know have like full-time day jobs and also are filming, editing, uploading, writing, querying, publishing, all of those things. So that's the group of people I know off the top of my noggin.
Yeah. I also think that there's something to be said for getting over the hump of getting used to something. Like, the amount of time it used to take me to make a video because I was so inexperienced with it. Like, now I'll just set up the camera and I know exactly where to go on my software to edit it and all this stuff. But the problem is it took months of that to get to a place. So I think you're at an uphill battle sometimes until it lowers. So I think of people like also Alexa Dunn, who's traditionally publishing and works a full-time job and is making videos very regularly. And in fact, she just kind of scaled back a little bit on her upload speed.
Don't mind me missing the number one most watched person that fits that niche.
Jessica, we've proven that together combined, we make one person. So you got all the others and I got the one. Like, we're good. But like, I think she's the best example of it. And you can still see there's a ramp up time. You know, she'd been writing for a while before she started her YouTube channel. And then you'd kind of get into this thing. Other people would be like the Courtney Project for a while. She was both, but here's the thing. She would also tell you that she didn't have a good balance. Like,
yeah.
You know, and she had a co-writer still to write the amount that she was writing, but I don't think she would tell you that she balanced it well. I think it was an unhealthy thing that she was able to do for several years. And when she had the opportunity to quit her full-time job to write full-time, she did. And
I could be wrong, but I also think Lizelle did the majority of Blood Like Magic while she was still working a full-time job.
I think she did too. Yeah. Yeah.
Just post Panini, she doesn't have a full-time job anymore. She's writing full-time, but
yeah,
I like that we just come up with P names to talk about it.
I know.
I lost the next one I was going to click on. Where did it go? Oh no, where did we go? Cassie's talking about a software that's similar to Adobe products is Affinity Photo. Noted. What do I do for work? What don't I do for work? I am an office manager, so I get to do fun things. I'm essentially a secretary, but I also do things like inventory and sales and accounting and answering phones and all of the things that you all
yeah, definitely more than when people hear office manager, they're not thinking the person who also does the accounting oftentimes and all the other things you just listed.
I just answer the phones and do the accounting and manage all the software and like all the emails and scheduling and
run the business.
I just do all the things. Now today I did nothing the whole day. I had copious amounts of things to do, and my brain just wasn't here for it. And when you're staring across the room at your boss and you're like, I'm not getting anything done today, I don't feel like it, and she goes, you have to work twice as hard tomorrow.
Like, got it. Well, that's what someone, I answered this question in one of the recent vlogs, but someone asked me like if I thought I worked more hours when I was working corporate or now working for myself. And I've done the math and I've done the experiments before, and I definitely worked more hours corporate, especially in the last year and a half or so when it was really bad. But I still think I work harder now. Like the amount of hours is like I'm mentally stimulated the whole time. The amount of time I would sit on a call in a meeting doing absolutely nothing and wishing I were anywhere else was so high. So now if I'm writing a chapter for an hour straight, my brain is like goo for longer. So it's all very fascinating.
I am also fascinated by blogs because I'm horrible at them. What is B-roll? Don't know her. Okay.
Typing content, Jessica, just show us the little fingers.
Which would be weird because I typically do reading blogs, not writing blogs, but okay.
Time lapse. And let me tell you, and because whenever I do the reading vlogs, which I don't do enough of, that beautiful, sweet flip of the page, that's what I need you to do, Jessica. I know you read, it's harder when you're doing the audiobooks, but I know you often also have a paperback or a hardback version.
What you're saying is I should fake reading the books to film while I'm reading the books.
Yes. You multitask it. That you think I'm always typing? No, I'm fake typing. Anytime it's not sped up, I am fake typing in that moment. The sentence is nonsense. B-roll.
And there's your content creation for the day.
There you go. There's your, if you did not already see all of us do that, what is that tag? It's bothering me so much. It's like an Authortube behind the scenes tag. And I was like, there are tens of us who fake type.
I probably didn't do that one, and that's why I don't know what it is. Grad school is a legitimate reason to not do YouTube.
Yeah.
For real. December videos. It was a long time ago.
I know, and they were so sweet. Yeah, same, Wallace. I will never do, you know what, though? I kind of want to try TikTok and do daily nano videos for that, because in my head I'm like, it'll be so much less work because it's only a minute, but inevitably it will be not worth it. But
they have shorts on YouTube now. You could do a daily short on YouTube,
but is that going to F with my algorithm? Do they care?
I don't know the answer to that question. You could do daily posts on Instagram and TikTok. I do have a TikTok now. I can't lie and say I don't have one. I do have one.
You did it. You caved.
Well, my nephew, who's 12, has one that lives with Nana, and Nana doesn't know how to use social media. So I have it specifically to watch what he's doing. He's the only person I follow, and I have no followers.
Yeah. I still don't watch that much TikTok, though. I thought I was going to be sucked in, and I just haven't yet. Maybe I haven't given it enough time. I watch so much more YouTube, which I think is why I was like, a YouTube channel makes sense.
Yes, cache of videos before you relaunch. Good plan.
I do think that's good, but don't let it hold you back.
Also that. Hope you feel better later. Oh, God. How long do you take to edit videos? It depends on the video itself. Depends on how many times I say. how many times I have to get up and let the dogs out in between.
Yeah. I tend to think of it as however much raw footage I have, it's probably 2 times that amount. And then the video will be a half of the raw footage I have.
Yeah.
I have the math I've done somewhere at some point. But
I think vlogs are worse than sit-down videos. Like, sit-down videos still can take me double the amount of time as the filmed, but vlogs can take triple, sometimes quadruple, depending on, like, if you're me and you film out of order. And I have an office video that I need to edit that I don't want to do.
Don't want it, Jessica.
Kate
Yeah,
is dying because I won't give it to her, but it's in pieces.
I will say if what I have filmed is under 20 minutes as just a sit down video, those are the best to edit because they take no time. But for some reason, if I filmed, which I rarely do, for like 30 plus minutes sit down and talking, those take me so long to edit. I don't know if it's because I probably like had to start and stop a bunch or what. Vlogs have a lot more visual cues, which is helpful. But if you have a bunch of shots, which I tend to have, then it can add up. So that's, I don't know if that answered your question, Charlie.
I think that's the thing too, is like, I have done reading vlogs before where I will film myself reading for like a half hour and then speed it up into like a 3-minute clip. But it's still really weird to me. Like, okay.
No, you gotta share your reactions live. That's what you need.
But the issue is that, like, how do you know a good part's coming up? You don't. Like, do you have to film yourself reading the whole book and hope something good happens?
No, I wait to grab the camera in those moments. I know some people, who was I watching? I think Emma Books. I was following her on Instagram. And basically what she does, I think, is she films herself reading the last 10 pages of Cassie Clare stuff. Like the entire last 10 pages, she just has a shot on her the whole time. But I think otherwise she like intermixes. You just kind of pick it up as something's happening and you're like, shock face. And that's it.
Here you go.
Yeah. Fake type. I will sometimes be like, can you see this? I don't know. Type.
And it doesn't surprise me because the things that Kate leaves in videos cracks me up.
I've tried to get a keener eye for this, but no. Oh, is TikTok scary? Are they mean on TikTok? I feel like maybe they're mean. Big and scary.
Because you don't necessarily have to look for things on TikTok. You just kind of get suggested things. So yes. Don't forget to like the stream.
Authortube secrets.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Boy. Hello, Tammy. Welcome to the crazy.
Yes.
I wanted to look and see if there was anything else.
We didn't really talk about organizing yet. And then do we want to talk about thoughts on hybridizing a channel? When you want to
hybridizing. I wanted to make sure there wasn't anything else that was specific to. Yeah. I think what we've learned is that we don't have any tips or tricks. Good luck.
Find a process that works for you, much like the writing community in general, or just writing in general.
No, I do actually want to see you wash dishes and cuss character. Can we please get that? Can that be a real thing? I want that.
I think if you actually, I've watched several reading vlogs. I think if you actually timed the amount of content where they're reading and talking about the book with the amount of like just vague lifestyle stuff, like baking or washing dishes or whatever else, it would be about split even. And I love it. I want to watch you curse at the characters while you're washing dishes.
Yes, that's where we're headed to momentarily, Emmy. Okay.
On top of
hybridizing. What was your thoughts? You said you had some thoughts on hybridizing, so let's hear your thoughts.
Okay. So, well, thought one is kind of what Jess was talking about earlier, where her most common video was unrelated completely to her the rest of her channel. So while her intended audience was her fellow booktuber authortubers, what happened is the YouTube algorithm was like, nah, it is a StreamYard tutorial. So you're now a tutorial, and specifically StreamYard. But Cam from Page Nomad, he basically had to make another channel because his writing content and reading content together wasn't working. I found that even though initially my reading content is lower, and it still is lower, it's actually been doing better the past 4 or 5 months in terms of views. So it won't quite hit the same as my writing, but it's much better than before. So I think there's also like, do it slowly and gradually add it in, and I think it can work. I want to get to a point where I've combined booktube more into my stuff. So I'm always intrigued by people who do it.
I think from what I have learned, from what I have done and what I have watched other people do, people who have, done booktube initially, or another, basically what it is you need to find your niche. You need to find what you want to focus on first. And once you have an audience, you can branch out, because it's really about people learning to like you, your personality, the things that you bring to the channel, making people want to be connected to you. And once they are connected to you, they're not really going to care what kind of content you're making. There are like Midwest moms that I watch because I like the things that they cook. Like, yeah. And there are some of their videos that I don't watch. Like, I don't like grocery hauls, but there are people that love that content. I just don't watch that video. It's not for me. But I love their personalities, and so I will watch the majority of their videos. And I think that's true for me. Charlie's asking about coming back from the weird hybrid algorithm. I think I'm finally getting there, but that video was, I don't even know when I posted that StreamYard video. It was forever ago. Probably, let me look and see. People always ask, how do I find your video? And I go to my channel, go to the one where it says most popular, sorted, it's there. So it says 1 year ago, which is that accurate?
Well, it's weird. It'll be like a year and 11 months, and it still says 1 year or something.
April of 2020, so actually a year ago.
It's been a pandemic. I'm sorry, a panorama, a panini.
It's been a panini.
Years are the same.
So I can say that incongruent with that, I did lose some momentum when I took all of August off, and then the remainder of the year was a little hit or miss, and that's, when people have brain tumors, that's what happens. So you just move on. I would say since April of 2020, I went from gaining like 100 to 200 subscribers a month to probably 100 every 2 to 3 months. It's been a lot less, but the last couple of months it has picked back up. So I think it just needs time. I think you just have to, if you have one thing that just really takes off, I think you have to have some time in between that video and all of your other content. Which one thing I do want to do is I keep thinking about it and I never do it. I need to go back and I want to update some of the hashtags in that video, and maybe that'll help with other people finding it. Because like if our community watches it, that's cool, but I don't want the whole world watching it because that's what's throwing it off. Anyway, that's the world I live in.
Yeah, I've seen people nuke their channels completely, get rid of them and start new ones. I remember there was a pretty popular booktuber who did that. Didn't you tell me about her, Jess? She like made a video about her hair, and it was way more popular in it.
I believe that was Sassy Cassie.
Yeah.
It was originally Miss Sassy Cassie, and she shaved her head, and that video was so popular that it screwed her algorithm. And when she got married, rather than just changing her branding and her channel name, she just completely defunct it and went to a new channel, because her algorithm was just so screwed from that opposite content.
Yeah. So I know she did that method. I think there's lots of just kind of writing it out will help.
I tried a second channel. I'll be honest. I tried a second channel. I did the second channel with planning, and I hated it. I hated having two channels. It was too stressful. It was too much to keep up with. Even just doing like trying to do like all of the marketing and remembering to share everything for both. It's a pain. It's bad enough I have 4 Instagram accounts. How many am I active on? 0. But I have 4 Instagram accounts. And it really is just like, it is so hard to keep up with everything when you have more than one channel. And so I think if you are just starting out, it's going to be too overwhelming. So I think if you stick to one central topic, but I mean, if you are just starting and you're like, I'm a booktube and authortube channel from the beginning, I don't know, that may work for you.
Well,
the algorithm has no rules.
Yeah, I also think it's helping now that more popular booktubers are also doing writing content. And more of them are doing writing content. And I think it's really blending our communities even more, that the most popular people over there are doing stuff. Yeah. And so YouTube's like, oh, this book person might like this writing thing, and this writing person might like this book thing. And it's like, yeah, that's anyways. So if those are the two communities, booktube and authortube, that you want to get into, I think it'll be even better in the future. I'm hopeful. You know what? It might. I swear, these algorithms.
And I got comments on that video, and I still occasionally get comments that I will hide, that are like, I don't care about your cats. I don't care about because like the cats are behind me on the couch, and they're like, I don't know why you started off this video talking about your cats, blah, 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 whatever. And my comment back was like, because this is my Authortube channel and my cats are fucking famous here. That's why.
Deal with it.
That's why.
Ta-da!
Yeah, I think our communities are definitely blending. And I think that a lot of us have crossed over enough that like I rebranded my Friday night live streams as productivity sprints instead of being writing sprints, because a lot of people read during them instead of, and even me, most of the time I read instead of write during them anymore. But originally I was doing writing sprints, and I rebranded them to productivity sprints because I have friends on both sides that, you know, use those sprints to be productive. We talked about it. The Worldwide Writeathon is in a couple of weeks, and people were asking, can I do other things during the sprints? Absolutely. The last Worldwide Writeathon, I redid my office during sprints. I didn't do any reading or writing. So, I mean, it really just is, if those are the two that you're smooshing, they will smoosh well. Look, what does that look for? I
emailed my representative ages ago for multiple things that I was mad about. I used my my voice, stepped up for my civic duty, and now they have my email address. And so they were sending me information about weather resources, severe weather resources, which I've never gotten from them ever before. So anyways, I'm like, you put me on a list. Anyways, that's what that phase was.
I'm gonna do a thing.
Okay.
BRB. I'm
She's
still
here.
here.
Oh, she's still here.
I'm walking over to get the door, and
Oh.
you don't need to see my shorts because I'm in my pajamas. Okay.
The comfy pajamas. Let's see. What other things did people say?
I was doing okay, but then mom came home. So like Ruby, as you can tell, Ruby peed the bed while she was laying there, as you can probably see. So now she's laying in the other bed that's directly behind me. Oh, she's laying beside it. Things. Anyway, are we moving to organization?
Shall we? Oh, I do want to point out Devasha's comment about how Read with Cindy, now just with Cindy, I believe, crushes it. If you want an example of like how to do all the things you want, and now to be fair, I think she has like an incredible design skills. She's very funny. And she sounds like smart in her joking, whatever. Like she's definitely talented and, you know, works at it and like all this other stuff that I don't think everyone can achieve. But incredible. The variety that she's doing of her content, I love it. And she blends a lot of her stuff too. So when people are like, how do I cross over? I think if you start doing writing vlogs and you just show yourself reading books during them and you talk about the book a little bit, like you can get away with a lot of stuff in vloggy content, and then no one's surprised when you do the thing. So like some of her videos are writing in or reading and cooking. And I did cooking with classics where I was talking about a book and cooking. So I think if you like mash some of your stuff together, you can also get away with it that way.
You are not cooking with classics. You are baking with books.
I'm baking with books. Yes. You're correct.
FYI, there was no cooking.
Yeah, it's not an aptly named series.
It was baking with books, not cooking with classics. FYI.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that was already taken though, and that's why I was like,
oh gosh. Have we tried Word Anvil for organization and writing? Not one that I've heard of, but I will add it to the list. Kate is currently looking it up so that it's saved on a tab later.
Correct.
Except I typed World Anvil, and that is not a thing. I mean, I'm sure it probably is, but
World Anvil?
World Anvil.
Yeah, I typed Word Anvil also, and that was wrong. But World Anvil.
See, there's an L in there, and I just don't even use it. Don't bake the books. Fair. I can't read. I'm sorry. I'm vaguely dyslexic, so who reads? No, I've never seen this before, and now I hate you all. It's fine. So no, that's not a thing that we use. One day.
Well, maybe. Yeah, it looks cool.
So content creation organization.
Yes. Oh, Evelyn makes a great comment.
I don't think she does as much on her fan channel as she does on her Heart Breathings channel, though. I think Heart Breathings is much bigger than her Sarah Cannon channel, but I could be wrong about that.
The planner world is so huge on YouTube. I always forget about that, but it's crazy.
Listen, stop telling me that people that I'm subscribed to use this thing and I don't know what it is, okay? I have over 2,000 videos in my watch later. I don't have time. Okay? Anyway, what methods of things do you use? And if you, for some reason, would like to screen share, you can.
I was about to say, I could screen share. Let me double check that I don't have anything y'all aren't supposed to see on here.
Girl.
I have secrets that y'all can't know yet. Snow. Can't know that one. Will it move? Damn. Okay.
Did you just curse on my channel?
No.
I did earlier.
I'm pretty sure I did before this too. Oh yes, there's the Buffy. There's the Buffy here. Okay. Let me share my screen. Screen share. I want that one. Screen 2. Can you see it?
Yeah, I'm adding it.
Oh, okay, okay.
I have to hit the add button, loser.
Of
Chill
course.
out.
This is my Notion. Woo. It's my video project tracker. There's a lot of different ways you could look at this. I also have a view that's my ideas and stuff, which I will not be showing you, unfortunately. And I have like a filming and editing schedule, but this is my publication schedule. And so you can see the ones that I've already published here. But this is basically how I do it. You can change, like I'm filming the Neil Gaiman Masterclass one. So it helps me. I used to have a spreadsheet where I figured all this out. You can do a sponsor, you can do different channel names and all sorts of stuff. So this helps me. You can drag and drop really easily. So it makes it easier for me. Like this one's probably going to get moved to here because I still need more time on it. So anyways, that's basically how I come up with it and how I like to view it now. Let me see if there's another one I can actually show you. Oh no, stop screen share. No.
Bad things were happening.
I know. No, it wasn't actually bad. Let me see. Table view. What can I show you?
I don't know. I just live here.
Anyways, Notion's really great. I will someday maybe film like how to organize with Notion. I've heard some people who are like, oh, could you share the template? I will leave a link. I followed other people's templates. I just downloaded it and changed it a little bit to fit me better. So I didn't come up with any of it myself.
And for those of you who are more paper-based than Kate, like me, I have the same thing, but it's on my planner.
I like the way you do it with the sticky notes, though. My problem was always I would write it down and then I would have to shift it around so much. Genius me did not come up with sticky notes.
Yeah, so like if like I just did this like an hour or so ago. There was one on Monday that I moved to Wednesday and then moved Wednesdays to Friday because I wasn't ready for it. As you did. So I also used to write them in. But I was like, you are getting behind on too many of these and you need to not be behind on them and or fix the thing. And it was getting very heavy with whiteout. And I was like, duh, post-it notes, genius. So I post-it note my editorial. I even have June planned. Look, June is planned out also.
That's what I'm trying to get into, planning for the full month ahead too. I do think for me, having a how long I expect something to like filming time, because like some of these vlogs and experiments I'm doing for like 2 weeks. So figuring out what days I'm filming what is something I've had to keep track of as well.
Do you have a way that you track other than just like your like the status that you had in that? Do you have a way that you track what you're working on
currently,
like that week specifically?
That's the filming, and that's like a filming view. And I did used to come up with a really bad version of that in Google Sheets where I would just write down the days. Let me see if I can find that. I can find the old version, which worked until I found Notion. And honestly, Notion's just easier because I didn't have to keep messing with it quite as much. But honestly, Google Sheets works just fine if you don't like Notion. You could also do it for publishing schedules too.
Yeah. I'm gonna get rid of your face for a minute.
Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I was just gonna say I also do like this guy.
Ooh.
So like over here. So I have my to edit, my to film, to-do lists, what my schedule over here, what my schedule is gonna be, when lives are. Some weeks it looks like this and it's just like your basic, very ugly thing.
Yeah.
And then some weeks it looks like this.
Oh damn.
So like it just depends on the week and what I have going on. Sometimes it's like 10:30 on a Sunday night, and I'm like, I haven't wrote down anything for next week yet, and you just get like black ink pens all over the page. And then there are other weeks where I like on a Friday night will be like, all right, I'm going to listen to a book and work on my schedule for next week, and I write out like what I need to film, what I need to edit. This layout of the Happy Planner is just, it's my favorite. I've tried so many. This one is the one that works for me. I use 2 planners. Sometimes I use my other planner. I used to use 2 planners all the time, but since the Panini, I haven't really needed the life planner because I'm not doing anything. So just my social media planner is the only one that gets used currently.
Well, I think this goes back to finding a system that works for you, because I like that you went through several different planners before you're like, this is the one that helps me visually understand it the best.
Well, I also have my HB90 method planner that I have not been using this year at all. I don't know what month we're in, but I haven't used it. I write things in it and then don't use it. But that also is another way that I do content creation, because I write out like things that I know I need to work on. But I haven't been doing that either, so.
I would share my screen if you can say yes.
No, I will not say yes. It is a dashboard. My HB90 is a monthly. FYI.
This is how I used to do it. Look at it. So you can see it's back in March. I say that. Can you see? There we go. Back in March. I had at one point, I tried it to delude myself into thinking I could regularly post to Instagram feed. I cannot. Oh, thank you. Make that a little bit smaller. So anyways, here were some ideas. Here were some, thank you. Here was some Authortube ideas, extra random ideas I had. And then I had my film edit and post schedule. So I had a film section, edit section, and this would tell me what I needed to work on each day in order to, in theory, post it in the time that I needed to. And that is how I used to do it. And I would color code it because it helped me.
I definitely also use another planner. This is why my channel also occasionally has planner content. I also use because I am a BookTube, Authortube hybrid channel. This is my reading planner. So I keep track of like what I've read during the month, any of my reviews. Like I keep written reviews. All of that in here. And I use this for, like, if I'm filming, I will take it over to my filming area, and that way I'll have like what I read, what I rated it, what I hauled, what I DNF'd, all of that information is in my reading planner.
I have started using, I really like seeing people's notions for their reading. It's really fun. I think Lizelle's been posting her reading tracker to Instagram that I really like. And then what is this? That is how I feel for everything. Is what even is this? And then what I've been using, not Goodreads, but Storygraph for tracking my reading now, and I really like it.
I still can't figure it out. I gave up. Like, it's
Really?
too hard for me. I feel like it's so weird that like I can like organize onto paper to like the nth degree, But things like Storygraph and Campfire, just like my brain
Fair.
can't do it. Like it just cannot. Can't
I
do
think
it.
that's fair. You probably wouldn't like Notion then.
I have opened it and I have like done some templates, and that was a weird way to say templates. Templates.
Plates?
I think my weird Southern Ohio accent was coming out there. But in the end, I was like, this is just everything I do in my paper planner, and I'm not going to do it in two places. And I prefer my paper planner over digital. So.
See, and I'm over here like I just need to write it in as many places as possible. So I will, when I have the initial concept and idea for stuff, I will put it on paper first. Then I transfer it onto my digital copy, and then I can play around with it there and kind of expand on it.
Storygraph is similar to Goodreads. You can keep track of your reading on there, as well as like your TBRs and things like that, but it is better suited to actual organization and categories. It is also basically a small business, a small Black-owned business. So.
And it's not owned by Amazon. And I say that, which I did not know Goodreads was owned by Amazon for a really long time. And as someone who publishes and like people buy stuff from Amazon, this is not necessarily a hate on Amazon. I just am trying to like pull myself out. Also, we're on YouTube, which is owned by Google. So like
yeah. My thing is like Goodreads is owned by Amazon, and the issue is that they put nothing into it.
They do nothing. My biggest thing is I've been more frustrated with Goodreads. And I'm like, I shouldn't be frustrated by something this often when I'm trying to use it.
Fair.
That's it. But I also don't have years worth of data in Goodreads because I could never get myself to commit to tracking my stuff there. I would do it for a little bit and then forget and then whatever. I can see how it's a lot harder for people who've been using it for years.
Over a decade?
Well, I was going to say, yeah, a decade at least.
I think my first year was 2010 or 2011. And some years only had like 12 books, but some years have had 130. So
it's a lot of data.
It's a thing. I had a thought and then it left. I was gonna say I also use Google Docs for keeping track of content creation as well, like ideas, future ideas. I just keep a list of them in an open Google Doc, because sometimes I have ideas like, making a story Bible video 2 years ago. It's still in there. It's there. Tags I want to do, or like tags that I think are fun but can't work into my current schedule, I keep those in there, like the actual questions of the tag, who the original creator was, and a link to their video, so that like if I have a week or that I don't have planned out, I'm like, what am I going to make this week? I can go in there and be like, all right, I can do this tag video. I think it helps like to just have ideas running at all times. It's really the same as writing. We all kind of have like a folder where we stash all of our misfit children as far as our writing goes. And so schedule videos on YouTube, like have them pre-filmed and just let them sit. Sometimes.
I have, once upon a time, I was like 2 weeks ahead on content. This has only happened once. And I was like, rather than just inundating, I can do a video, I can do 3 videos a week, but I had up to 2 weeks of material like backlogged. And I think I kept that up for a month and then it went away completely. And that I would schedule the videos and just let them sit there for a while. If I have a sponsor, I have to have the video ready in advance and I have to let them see it and review it. And so they will sit there unlisted so that they can watch them. And then I will publish them usually a couple days later. So That's the only time I do it now. I wish I was back on top of things and had more of a buffer in there, but
I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I was like 3 weeks out, and then this week,
yeah.
I was a day behind.
Where
So
did they go?
sometimes I definitely have that buffer, and I have videos that, especially if it's something that is easy or something that's coming up, a lot of times like a readathon announcement or a writeathon announcement or something like that, I'll plan ahead of time, and then we'll just like be ready to go. And then other things like reading blogs and wrap-ups and stuff like that take a little longer. So it just depends on the thing.
Yeah.
Anything else anybody would like to know about content creation? Anything that you would like to talk about? Are you checking on your phone for content creation, or are you just looking at your phone?
I'm looking at the answers people gave me.
Oh, okay.
I also asked people if they had any tips for any others, and I really liked this person who said, Danawek said, keep recording, editing is what ties the story together. And I really appreciate that, because sometimes when I'm making a vlog, I'll be like, I have effed this up so royally. And let me tell you, the voiceover helps immensely. This is when the B-roll comes in. But sometimes, like, I'll record a bunch of stuff and I don't really know what I want to do with it yet. And then I'll just have voiceover to tie it together. So, and sometimes like with those videos that I know is going to take a really long time, but I want to show a progression or something like that, I'll just have tiny clips here and there over the span of whatever. Like when I beta read for Becca, I had that vlog that I had done back in like September or October, whenever I read her book. And then she had her incredible, like brainstormed, wrote, edited, got this book beta read and all the video in 90 work days. And so I couldn't post my video until, of course, hers went live. So I had that footage for forever. And then I just tied it together later and then posted. So
I think too, like if you are lucky enough to be like Kate or I, who Kate has the Patreon and I have channel memberships. Sometimes if you have a video project that just doesn't work out, or you like stop in the middle of it, it's also something good to use as like behind the scenes content or like extra content. I have an ARC vlog from like last year in, I don't know, September, October, that at some point I will edit and post as extra video with no ending, because it doesn't have an ending.
I did that for NaNoWriMo 2019. Yes. NaNoWriMo 2019. I had made a video during Preptober that I was showing all my prep, but I didn't have enough time to edit the video until like November 15th or something. I finally got it edited. And I'm like, no one cares about my Preptober now. Like, I've already been writing the thing. And so I just put it on Patreon, because I was like, this is a 40-minute video of me doing all this work, but I just couldn't. And it had more. I was in Chicago at the time, and like, so I had some Chicago footage. So anyways, it was fun. There's something freeing in that too.
Video storage while editing, footage storage, and tagging, stuff like that. Do you have specific things for that? Because I don't.
Okay. So here's my thing. It is worth buying depending on what you have. I use, if I use my phone to film, I have been backing up to Google Photos, which I then can retrieve, and I pay for extra storage from Google, like $2 a month. If you can get one of these 128 gigabytes, it will save your life.
I have two.
I need another one. I'm running out of space on this one, and I need another one. I did have to, one of the big reasons I ended up getting the new computer, besides my old computer constantly had to be plugged into work, was that I didn't have any more space on my computer because I could not hold the footage for long vlogs. It's beautiful.
I just got a new one.
I need to buy some. I couldn't hold the space for long vlogs. So if I was doing a 40-minute vlog, I couldn't then have another video going in iMovie. So
are Buffy and Zelda having a good time?
Yeah, they're And then I have file folders on my computer. So anytime I'm transferring from my camera, and I will try to do it pretty regularly, I will then go and move the footage into the individual folder. So right now I have a folder for Jessica and I's book club pick vlog, and I got my new library card. So that's a folder. I have a folder for my Mort reading vlog. I have a folder for my Neil Gaiman masterclass, and then a few other folders that I haven't sorted other than by date. So I will drag and drop in case I'm filming multiple videos in a day and I need to organize it better. So that's what I've learned to do.
And I just use the file that comes with my camera. Like when I plug the camera, in, I don't plug the camera in. When I put this thing in there and the file that it opens into, and I will go through, especially on days when like I bulk film, and will just like open all of them and see what video it is and then write on it what video it is. And I try to write the month and the year on it because a lot of my videos are like TBR, wrap up, haul, whatever. So when I store them in a folder of things that have been uploaded in case I want to go back for any reason, I try to keep that information in there. But I don't really organize my clips. Even like my office blog that is forthcoming just says like Office A, Office B, Office C, all the way to like triple G, I think. There's a lot of clips. And that's how I organize it, which is not the way you should organize things. But I don't do a lot of vlogs in particular. Spoiler alert, that's why I bought another 128 is because I want to try to do more vlogging. And I have heard people say that it is better to have more than one if you're vlogging, not just because of space reasons, but because sometimes you're, working on editing a video and you need to have your camera and you don't have your camera because your card is in the computer. So that's that. Where are we at? Where do you store your footage? Just on the computer?
On the computer, yeah.
I don't have a cloud. I don't have an external hard drive. Probably should, but I don't.
I also do not have an external hard drive. And I see Devasia saying I delete raw footage when I'm done with it. So do I. I don't keep it. I also don't even keep the videos once I'm done. I probably should, but Google, like YouTube lets you download them if they're on your channel. So
yeah. I usually keep it for a few months and then I'll go through and clear everything out and then start over. So let's see. How do you get yourself in the mindset of actually creating the content you've thought of? I don't know about you, but I just feel like to an extent I have a responsibility to make the content. So I do. But also it's been 2 years and I haven't created that content yet. So
I think it's like an intrinsic motivation thing. Like I also write because I want to write, but some days I don't want to write, so I don't write. And some days I don't want to film, so I don't film. Even though those things should get done, I don't want to do them today, so I don't do them. But usually, luckily, I don't have those days too often. And if there's a particular thing where you like think you want to do it, I'm going to give this example that I did kind of recently. I thought it was a genius idea to read the first chapter of a book and then read the last chapter of the series of that, anyways, in the book. And I tried to do it with Cassandra Clare's. I'd already read the first chapter because I'd read the first book. And then I was going to try and read the epilogue of the final book in the series. And that freaking chapter, which is what I came up with after stuttering because I wanted to say something else, was like 60 pages. And I read part of it and was like, this is not fun. So sometimes you think an idea would be really good, and I would watch the shit out of someone else doing it, but it was not fun for me. So I
need you to do that with like the first chapter of the first book and the last chapter of the third book.
And
because it was originally a trilogy.
There were several characters at the end of that fifth one where I'm like, who are you? When would you have come in? Like
somewhere in the 6 books in the series, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. But I was just like, ugh. Right, Wallace? I was like, it's so fun. And I stole that idea from Dylan is in Trouble, who did that with TV series, which is also, I thought they were really entertaining, but I just trying to do that really taught me a lesson.
There are Wi-Fi enhanced SD cards also that will transfer to the cloud. It's more expensive, but you can do that.
That is so cool.
And I don't store anything in the cloud other than if, like Kate said, if I do film something on my phone, just through Google Photos, the backup on that. But I don't have anything specific in the cloud.
Do you want to come here? You just want to lick my foot. Okay.
Wallace kept the raw footage from her first ever video.
I think that's cute, though. I think that's fun. I bet that's probably a good thing to do every so often. I know.
It's not me. It's her.
I still think it's genius. It's only because I knew I was never going to read that. But I think I have an idea that will be better than that idea.
We can talk about it when we hit the end live button.
Yes. Jessica is my fortress. I tell her everything but the romance pen name.
Exactly. Which is rude.
Let me see.
I am going to write romance books and have a pen name just so I can not tell you what it is.
Just to spite me. Someone asked on Instagram, they said, would it be a bad idea to keep my face and real name hidden if I started a YouTube channel?
No, you can absolutely do that. I think if you are planning on keeping your face hidden, if you're going to show other things like your hands, things like that, there are people that shoot like from here down, rather not from here up, from here down, and don't show their face, but they'll show like their hands, their desk, what they're doing. I think that can work. I think if you're just going to like have a blank screen, then you would be better to do podcasts or something like that versus doing YouTube, because most people that are going to YouTube are going for something visual rather than something audio related.
Yeah, I also see this is one of those things where if you watch a lot of YouTube, you can steal from other communities, but the planner community does a lot of shooting the hands and the action like you were talking about. And I absolutely think that that could work for writing. You'd probably still like, it would take a certain kind of personality. Like, I don't know that I have it, but like for people who have like a calmer, chiller vibe during their videos, I think you could really pull it off and it would be really great. So there's options.
Yeah.
Or that.
Also, if you're doing just like sit down and chat videos, you could also do like some kind of a craft or something, you know, even if you're just filming yourself writing or whatever and do like a voiceover, you could do that. There are definitely options in that. Great.
One day, very, very far into the future.
How long do I gotta wait for these books?
Here's the thing. If I don't tell anyone, then no one will know. But if I tell some people, then me being a dummy won't remember who I've told. This is the problem. So I just tell no one.
Okay. When you publish the book, just send it to me. Anonymous in the mail. And then I'll know. And you'll know that I know. And I can read it and review it, and the whole world will have to figure out if that's the one. Everybody that's in this chat will know that in the future, I'm going to read a romance book that may or may not be written by Kate, and they have to guess. Wouldn't that be great? Like for the next 10 years, they're just like, is this the romance book?
Is this it? Is this it?
Is this the one?
You know, very deceptive marketing. Genius.
And you have to hire an actress for your picture on the back. They do that. There are people that do that.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware.
Yeah.
Here you go. Look at Wallace. Yes.
I will. I have to build up my name in BookTube just a little bit more, but come next like Valentine's Day or something, I will do that, Wallace. And you're gonna be like, is this it? I will do it. I will. But here's the thing, I can't credit you because then people will know. So I want to credit you, but then people are going to be more on the lookout. I just need it for the people in this chat to just have it in the back of your minds. Next Valentine's Day.
Next Valentine's Day. Romance. Just gonna. Okay, got it. I'm ready. Look.
We can ruin your plans, Jessica.
Here's the thing. Kate knows my address. The rest of you all just have my P.O. box. So, I mean, you can send me books in my P.O. box if you want. I'm going to read them. But, you know, where was the thing? What apps did you use for editing when you started?
Did we use the same one when we started? I think we did.
Windows Movie Maker.
Yes.
It does not exist anymore. And if it existed still, I would still be using it.
Someone told me it did. Someone told me they brought it back. Are they lying? I don't know. I don't have anything that runs that.
I heard vaguely that they had brought it back as well, but I don't think it's the same thing. I think there's like a different version of it or something. But now that you have said that, I'm going to go look when we're done with this chat.
Should. Yeah. I think that was one of the best ones. Yeah, it was the easiest and most intuitive, and it took like relatively little effort. I will say I use iMovie almost exclusively, though I will sometimes use Premiere Pro. I'm wanting to learn more about Premiere Pro because you can put better text on the screen than you can on iMovie. And when I wanted to have my little face when I did the Campfire Blaze video, I could do that. But I have Windows Movie Maker C. Are you searching it, Jessica?
No, I mean, it's on my old computer too. Like, but it doesn't hold the capacity. My old computer's not fast enough to handle it.
Yeah.
It's very glitchy, very vintage. Yeah. Like you can have the old version, but they don't have a new version, or at least they didn't.
Okay.
Premiere Pro is what I use. I'm not great at it, which is why I full circle recently got a Skillshare subscription so I can learn how to use Premiere Pro better. I'm using it more, but I just wanted to do this again.
I have been using Canva, and I just do green screen, and it has been really nice. But then I can't they have some effects, but not all the effects I want to do. And like sometimes I don't know where I am on the screen, so I then have to take a screenshot of me on the screen and then where the text would be, and then green screen it again. Like,
if you pay for Canva Pro, you can have a transparent background.
Oh, just always?
Yeah, you can just, it's an option. You can just click the button, transparent background.
That's really cool. The green screen ends up doing kind of the same thing, but
I don't know because I don't have that thing.
Yeah. But that would be nice. I probably will pay for it at this point. Y'all have really convinced me. I don't even think I need the 30-day thing. I have been thinking about it more and more.
You know, I think I'm definitely a person that's just like, this is my face. This is what it looks like.
Yeah,
it has to look better.
There's a yeah, I think I'm also already someone who is like, yeah, this is my face. I'm wearing makeup today, but I often don't wear makeup, and it's not like I've ever felt, other than at the beginning of our YouTube journey, Jess and I both thought we had to wear way more makeup, and now we're just like, it's fine. And I know some people do not feel that way. I think I'm lucky with that. There is still times I had the worst, you can still kind of see it, the worst zit for the past like week and a half. and it was just on my face. And that one I was just like, this is a bummer. But I don't think I'm looking at that when I'm editing. At this point, I'm really looking at a lot of other stuff because I'm trying to go quickly. So I don't know that that's helpful. And, you know, the downside is there are trolls who will come and say stuff about you, and that super sucks. But I think Authortube tends to be pretty away from that. I don't think we're as bad as other parts of YouTube.
Was it Bookish Realm that did a video the other day with a couple of other people on beauty standards and booktube?
Yes. I love that video so much. It's like a 3-hour chat.
I haven't got to watch it yet.
Every bit of it. I loved it.
Here, let me share that. And I do know, like, that those 3 women that are in that are very intelligent women. So I know that they'll have, even though I haven't watched it yet, I'm sure that they'll have interesting things to say. So I just shared that in the chat. Booktube beauty standards, but I mean, it could fall over in the same vein. Also, if you are struggling with any of those issues and just dealing with your face in general, I learned a new term last week called body neutrality. So rather than body positivity or body negativity, it's body neutrality, and essentially is like there are more important things to worry about right now. So when you're staring at your face, there's more important things to worry about, like your video content and things like that.
Yeah, like your body is a vessel for the message that you are trying to convey to other people. And like it's your means of communicating because your voice is there and your expressions. But it's not like, I don't know. I don't think I've personally ever watched a YouTube video of someone other than if they were talking about makeup that I analyzed their face that much. But I know that's easier said than done when it is, in fact, your own face. So
it is. And I do feel like, I'm going to say this, that as white people, we have it a little easier because people are more forgiving of us and not as mean as they are to other people of other races. So,
And they do talk about that in the BookTube, the one you linked also.
Yeah. So that's a thing.
And you do get more comfortable with it, Nikki. I think you do. Yeah. Like at this point, I do not care. And lots of people, I'd heard that once reading vlogs got really popular, a lot of the super popular booktubers who like always were made up in their videos were excited because they finally had an opportunity to like not do that and just kind of get used to that being okay. So
I always say, anytime we talk about beauty standards, I always say, go to Kate and I's videos from 2017 when we both first started, and we look like completely different people. Me, because I weighed like 80 pounds less, but also because there's like 20 pounds less of makeup on each face. So if you ever worry, just go look. And now we're like, whatever, this is the face I rolled up in.
Yes. I also
currently.
Literal bedhead. Look, I'm doing 24-hour write-athons, okay? What you see is what you get. I'm not doing anything extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not doing things while I'm supposed to be doing things. You can't prove it because you can't change anything.
I don't know what you're doing, but I really like the Beatrice's comment. Oh, okay. I do think there's something to be said for setting up ground rules for yourself. That's really good.
Yeah, I had the opposite idea. I was like, I want everyone to love me. I need to like put on all my makeup and put in my fake hair and do all of the things. I also was like getting ready to turn 30. I think that math adds up. Yeah, because I started in 2017 and I was born in 87. Okay. I was getting ready to turn 30. So I also was like at a point where I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be 30 soon. And like, you know, just all of when you guys get to 30, you'll understand. That had a part of it as well, but yeah.
Yeah. I think it's also figuring out like reprogramming your brain to be like, oh, maybe this doesn't really matter after all. And I think if you're able to come into it like Grape did initially, being like, that doesn't matter, and I'm gonna make sure that doesn't matter, then that's a lot better. or a lot healthier mindset, which is why I still think that like having no set schedule is good. Where like if you get to a point where you're like, oh, I regularly do videos on this day, and you know what, I want people to know they can show up, then maybe you tell people there's a set schedule. But you don't need to start with that. Like you don't need that added pressure.
I'm gonna be posting a video every week, so look for my face, like, or every other week, or you're not wrong.
Yes.
Absolutely. Anything else Kate would like to add to the conversation?
I don't think I have anything else.
Me either.
How to come up with ideas, we talked about that. Balance, we talked about that. It's non-existent. Nope.
Well then, in that case, thank you all for joining us today. It's been a wonderful day.
It has.
Oh, wait. There's a question. Would you say upgrading StreamYard is worth it?
I haven't done it yet.
I have.
But you have, yeah.
I like having like my own background and you know things like that. But I mean, you don't need it.
Yeah, and it also depends on how often you're streaming, probably. Like the only times I've seen it be an issue is during like heavy months where I was streaming on YouTube before I more or less switched over to Twitch, and also when I had a lot of people and then the StreamYard logo would block out one of the faces.
We were doing a event and one of the faces, like by we, I mean me and Kate. I was the host, Kate was a guest. There were 4 other guests. One of the guests had the StreamYard logo in their square, so they were like to the clear over here the whole time. And then StreamYard. So, and that was for like a fairly big event. So it just depends.
Yeah.
How do you get the word out about posting your videos? I post on Instagram sometimes. Sometimes I don't.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know how much time we have, or I'll post it to Instagram. I have a swipe up link now on Instagram. So sometimes I'll link stuff and I'll post the swipe up link, but I don't know if that actually pulls anyone to the video. But yeah, sometimes I post about it. Sometimes I don't. I like the way Lizelle does it. She'll set a Instagram post about the new video that is pretty close to the thumbnail, but is clearly like not cut off or anything. And then she'll go back and delete those once she has a new video or it's been a few days. So it actually shows up in my feed because I'm on Instagram like kind of often. So yeah, that way.
I don't think there's a limit anymore. You used to have to have 100 subscribers before you did live sprints. Which I think is a decent number. I think the thing is like, as long as you don't mind talking to yourself and one other person, because I've done live sprints before where there's been no one there and it's real weird. It's real awkward. So I guess you would just need to either be big enough that you think that people would be there, or have someone with you as like a guest host so that you have someone to talk to to keep the flow of things moving. Or join an event like the Worldwide Writeathon where you're going to have built-in guests coming because they will be coming in from the previous sprint.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yes. That's all I got. I'm ready now. Are you ready? I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye.